Hi everyone, my name is Abby and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be making a video on Thorpe Park and its accessibility for all its rides. I hope you enjoy. So I went to Thorpe Park on one of their Fright Night days, which basically in the month of October they do these things called Fright Nights, and they're kind of scary ones, and the park stays open till like 10 o'clock at night I think. And we went at 10 AM and stayed till 3 PM, and then after 3 PM it turns into Fright Night. We didn't want to really go to the Fright Nights, it's not really our thing, so we kind of just went in the day and just enjoyed the rides. So going to Thorpe Park during Fright Night is no different than going to Thorpe Park during any other time of the year, so you're still able to get the same access requirements as you would any other point. First thing to know is if you go to Thorpe Park, you do not have to pay for car parking as a disabled person, and there is car parking specifically at the front of the park just for you. So there is loads of disabled parking, that you're not going to have an issue there. With loads of disabled bays, you just need to put your blue badge up as usual. If you are going to Thorpe Park, you need to do a bit of prior stuff online to make sure that you do get your disabled ticket, and you do get that free carer ticket as well. So a couple of things you need to do is you need to sign up for the Merlin Disabled Access Pass. Also it'd be really great if you signed up for the Nimbus Access Card. So basically what you want to do is when you're signing up online, you want to make sure you get one of these, which is, I'm just gonna do this, but so you're gonna get one of these, which is an access card, and this basically just tells them kind of that you do have the right to have access. And then also once you sign up to the Merlin card online, then that sets you up when you get to the park. When you get to the park, you'll go to the accessibility kiosk, which as you come through security is just on the right of security before you go through the main gates with your tickets into the park. And then when you get to the park and you go to the accessibility desk, they will give you one of these, which is a Merlin ride card, and you have to do the online process before you go to get one of these printed on the day. Then when you get one of these printed, they'll then give you a carer ticket on the day when you get there. You buy your ticket online as a standard adult ticket, and you can also reserve a carer space online, but you have to go and make sure you get that carer ticket from the access desk. Basically all this card does is it says your colour, which is your access ride, is your access needs, so it lets staff know kind of what your needs are. And then you also get a nice sheet which tells you all the rides you can and can't go on. So what they also do is when you go to ride, you give them your card and they write a comeback time for you. So when you get to the ride, you can ride the ride straight away, but then you will get a time written on it, which is I think is about an hour for most rides. It depends on how long the queue is. So if the queue's half an hour, it'll be half an hour and so on. That's when you can ride the ride again. So you can't just ride the ride back to back basically. The next thing to note is that some of the rides are a bit confusing. I had a few issues, especially with the ride that Saw. They were pretty unhelpful actually with the ride Saw. It was actually extremely difficult for me to ride it. So they have an accessibility lift which you can go up in, as you can see here. So we're in the lift for Saw. What's that lift called?
Hello?
Hi, just in the lift for accessible access.
It's all good. Okay, I will send someone down for you.
Cheers, thank you. So Thorpe Park let me down. So they told me I had to walk. I said I couldn't. They let me up onto the ride. My friend carried me onto the ride, and then they told me I couldn't get on the ride because I couldn't walk. They even have a lift to get up there, so I don't know what the they're playing at Thorpe Park, and I'm so disappointed. You can go up in this lift, and then once you get to the top, they said I couldn't take my wheelchair up to the ride, but I could be carried. So my friend carried me to the ride, which was difficult for him. And then after that, we got told while he was carrying me that I could no longer ride the ride because I could not walk. This was not made clear at any point before the ride, so that was really, really disappointing, and the way they handled it in general was really bad. So if you could not walk at all, do not even bother going to Saw, it is not worth it. I have no idea why they have put a lift in on Saw, it's a brand new lift, if you cannot ride the ride, if you're a wheelchair user. So that boggles my mind, but just a little tip, don't go on Saw if you can't walk. I think it's 25 steps down a spiral staircase. All rides that are real wheelchair friendly out of the main one were Stealth. Stealth is really easy, you go in the back entrance, there's a lift up to the queue, and then you can get straight on the ride. You do have to ride in the back row of Stealth just because of the access, the way it works, but Stealth is really easy and really good to ride and access. The transfer is quite difficult, but it's definitely doable. Next one is Colossus. Colossus was actually one of our best rides for access. We went up to the gate. As you can see, there is a bit of a transfer lift getting through because there are side guards on the seat. That is a bit difficult, but if you have good upper body strength, you should be fine. And the way I did it was by putting my feet in first and then transferring my body over after. Again, the entrance for this one is through the back, so you have to go through the exit past with a photo where you can see your photos, and then in the back way. The next one that was really good in Nemesis Inferno, this one does have a lift so you can get up to the platform. The lift is really good. It actually is a proper lift which has a purpose because you can ride it as a wheelchair user. You go up in the lift, they'll spot you, you give them your card, they'll do the timings for you and then roll you up to the ride. You have to go in the back row again just because of accessibility requirements, but shout out to the lady on it, she was super nice and super helpful. You go out to the back row, you transfer over onto the seat. Now, minding this is a dangly feet ride, so if you don't have a lot of leg control, your legs are going to go absolutely everywhere. Pro tip from me is try and cross your legs, if you have to do it with your hands, and see if they stay. That's the only way I can get it without my legs going absolutely everywhere. Getting on Nemesis Inferno, and then they'll take your chair away from you and bring it back for you at the end of the ride. Transfer's actually okay because the seat's kind of level. Now finally, another one was really good was Swarm. It does say with Swarm you have to be able to walk, but actually you don't. They will let you on. They will bring you up. You go through the back entrance again. They will ask you if you can transfer independently. If you can go on the ride. So then they'll take you up. You can wheel right up onto the ride. You have to go in the back row again on the inside seat. You can then transfer up into the inside seat. It's a bit of a difficult transfer just because of the height of the seat. Obviously, these are all my personal experiences. Difficult transfer, but you can do it if you have really good body strength, and definitely a fun ride to go on and not to miss if you can transfer onto it. So you can transfer on, they'll take your chair away, and then at the end they will bring it back to you. So they're the main rides at Thorpe Park I thought I'd cover. All the other rides, they are pretty self-explanatory if you can access them or not. Just go and ask if you don't really understand. It's always worth asking. Some of the rides you can ride if you can walk a few steps. Some of them you can ride if you can't walk at all. At the end of the day, a fair few rides you can ride. I've seen better at other theme parks, but it's definitely a good day out if you want to go with some friends or people are going and you don't want to miss out. You don't need to. So don't worry about that, and you can definitely have a good day at Thorpe Park. That is it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are planning on going to Thorpe Park and you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll try and get back to you guys. Thank you so much for the support on the last video. It was incredible. Please, if you are new, do subscribe. The link's down below, the red subscribe button. Click it. You'll subscribe to my channel, and then there's a little bell. If you hit that, you'll get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much. I love you guys, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.